Our scriptures from the Old Testament is taken out of Exodus, and that's chapter 24, verses 12 through 18. And this is how it reads. It says, "And the Lord said unto Moses, Come up to me unto the mountain, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and a table of stone, and a law, and commandments which I have written, that they mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God, and he said unto the elders, Tarry ye here for us until we come again until you, and behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man had any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moses went up to the mountain, and a cloud covered the mountain. And the glory of the Lord abode upon mountain Sinai, and the cloud covered in 6 days, and in the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went up to the midst of the cloud and got him up in the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. Amen? Amen.
Would you please stand for the reading of the gospel? Many times we can only imagine what happened on this as we celebrate the Transfiguration Sunday. And that's what our scriptures comes from in Matthew chapter 17, verses 1 through 9. 6 days later, Jesus took Peter and the brothers James and John with him. They went up on a very high mountain where they could be alone. There in front of the disciples, Jesus was completely changed. His face was shining like the sun, and his clothes began white as light. All at once, Moses and Elijah were there talking with Jesus. So Peter said to him, Lord, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While Peter was still speaking, the shadow of a bright cloud passed over them, and from the cloud a voice said, This is my own son, dear son, and I am pleased with him. Listen to what he says. When the disciples heard the voice, they were so afraid that they fell flat on the ground. But Jesus came over and touched them. He said, Get up and don't be afraid. When they opened their eyes, they saw only Jesus. So on the way down the mountain, Jesus warned the disciples not to tell anyone what they had seen until after the Son of Man had been raised from the dead. Amen. I'm going to make one real point. Jesus said, let's go down. Up on that mountain, it was paradise. It was a wonderful time. I'm sure the disciples wanted to stay there. Jesus, let's go down. See, down below is where the hungry, the poor, the sick, and that's what Jesus wanted them to go. Not so much to stay on top of that mountain as much as we might do. And thus, we celebrate Transfiguration Sunday, which is today. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.